The Ballad of Andy and Barney. Andy and Barney were lawmen, bravest you ever did see. Warned every crook in the record book to stay out of Mayberry. They were the law.
Yes, they were the law, and they didn't know fear.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I guess to sum it up, you could say there's 3 reasons why there's so little crime in Mayberry. There's Andy, and there's me, and baby makes 3.
Now on MeTV Fresno.
Hi, I'm John Mallows. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this Monday morning. Today it's on the air, off the presses, and we'll be talking about the possibility, I think it's a foregone conclusion, the tearing out of Fulton Mall. It's coming soon to a theater near you, right? 436 MeTV, option 11. Actually, we'll have 2 guests today. We'll have this program here for the first 30, 40 minutes, and then we'll talk about the Got Milk campaign. We're back in a moment.
Tonight I want to discuss the importance of the television medium to the American people.
And welcome back to the program here on a Monday morning. It is on the air, off the presses on Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno. So glad you're here. Hey, today's program is sponsored by Dr. Thomas Casagrande. Let's not forget that. He is over at Shaw and Blackstone 20/20 Optometrics. He's got more than 2,000 frames to choose from. So go out there if you have any eye problems and need some new frames or glasses or whatever the case may be. Hey, a reminder, every Monday through Friday, live right here on Comcast, channel 187, 43.6 and 13.1. You can watch us live on those 3 stations, 10 to 11 o'clock. The replay comes later in the day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 13.6, U2, 8 o'clock at night on 4.6 Biz TV. And then you can tweet me if you want at John Mallows, me. TV. And I just want to talk just briefly for just a couple of seconds here about the U.S. Open Golf Championship yesterday. Disappointed in Fox's coverage. Didn't like the coverage or the broadcasters all that much, although Greg Norman was okay, but had Joe Buck behind the mic. But what a finish. Jordan Spieth winning the U.S. Open yesterday. He now is the Masters champion and the U.S. Open champion, the 6th man in history to win the Masters and U.S. Open in the same year. He won it on the 18th hole. And what a tremendous finish it was. So today it's time to talk about On the Air, Off the Presses, and our special guest in the studio today. He's a regular here, but we've talked about this subject so many times with so many guests on this program. In fact, on this program we have heard from you, the viewer, the caller. And today we hope you call in once again to talk about it. Let's put up the picture. I'm talking about the Fulton Mall and the tearing out of the Fulton Mall. We hope to hear from you on this one, 436 MeTV option 11. Because let me tell you, my friends, it is getting closer to the time when the bulldozers will start emerging and then tearing out the 50-year-old pedestrian mall. Barring any delays for whatever reason, the new version of this mall should be opened by 2017, open to traffic between Tuolumne and Inyo Streets. In fact, back in February, the City Council approved the project by a 5-2 vote, and this, my friends, has been a huge pet project for the mayor, Ashley Swearingen. She was hoping the council would go for it, and they did. Back in the 1960s, this mall was put in, and it served as the pride of Fresno. Rare 16mm color film in the early days when pedestrians, or the pedestrian malls were actually the fad around the country. By 2008, 85% of the pedestrian malls around the country, though, were fully reopened to traffic. That according to the Downtown Memphis Commission. However, keep in mind the project is still facing state and federal lawsuits, and some of those people are claiming the project will have a negative environmental impact on the area. And for a long period of time, the tearing out and reconstruction will have an effect on the surrounding businesses as well. But those in favor of this project claim this will be the catalyst to bring people downtown to Fresno one more time, I guess once again you could say, right? Like the old days. Live in our studio now is Gabriel Dillard, the Fresno Business Journal. He is here to talk about it. In fact, they had an article in the Business Journal this past week about the tearing out of the Fulton Mall. You'll talk about that and some of the lawsuits and some of the details surrounding it. We've talked about this many times on this program in recent months. We're talking about it again today. We want your feedback, your impact. 436-MeTV, option 11. Hey, back with our program in just a moment. At 2020 Optometric, your vision is their focus. Whether you're 5 or 65, Dr. Thomas Casagrande will get to know you, your lifestyle, and vision needs to ensure that your contacts or eyeglasses are a perfect fit and the right prescription every time. With the Valley's largest selection of eyewear, 2020 has over 2,000 frames, including top designer brands like Coach, Tiffany, Prada, Ray-Ban, Oakley, and more. Eye exams start as low as $89, so call or stop by to schedule your appointment today. Gabriel Dillard is here on the program. Connect with me from the Fresno Business Journal. Welcome, Gabe. Happy Father's Day from yesterday.
Same to you.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. It was a great day yesterday. Watching the U.S. Open, out there swimming and enjoying the hot weather. And here we are talking about the Fulton Mall again, right?
Here we go.
Great article in the Fresno Business Journal. Hey, or the Business Journal, actually, is what it's called. We have a caller already. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, man, you're coming in loud and clear.
Okay, good. I was here in the 60s visiting friends when I went on down to the mall. I thought it was very nice and everything else. It was quite progressive for its time.
Uh-huh.
But city has moved to the outer limits because we put these stupid freeways in. And so where do we get the urban sprawl? Is at the end of the freeway. So there's nothing downtown for anybody to go to. Yeah. Because you don't have any Social Security office downtown, you don't have any of those community services. I pointed that fact out to Westerlund at a District 4 meeting, and he said there was something that they could force these guys to come. If you don't give them a reason to come, they're not going to come. I don't care how much money Swearingen wants to throw at this dumb project of hers, but you've got to have some reason. You put a PG&E down there, you put IRS, and what they can do is go down there with one stop on by whatever transportation they need, go inside and make their appointment, and then know what IRS or Social Security office they have to go to, and have an appointment. And then they won't have to waste all this time and money and their limited resources. But you have nothing downtown. You got zip.
Caller, let me interrupt and ask you a question. Are you in favor of tearing out the Fulton Mall, or do you want it to stay as is?
Stay as is. Quit wasting my money. They wasted all the money on the water meters, and then they put the budget in and all that for another $15 million. They stole from two other accounts. So let's quit wasting my money. Because the last guy was here, he wanted to put a stupid lake in the middle of the downtown.
I think he was talking about Alan Autry. Yeah. Go ahead and respond to the Fulton Mall, if you would.
Well, I believe that's a sentiment that a lot of people have. I mean, just don't waste my money. I mean, it's taxpayer money. A large part of the $20 million price tag, $16 million of that's coming from a federal grant. So, that's still taxpayer money, but it's not direct Fresno County taxpayer money. So, but that's a fair point. And I guess just to clarify, though, a lot of services are located downtown Fresno. There is the IRS, and there actually is a Social Security office on Fulton Mall. Yeah, which is the weird thing. The only thing I think that brings people downtown are those services, and then just the people who work there. So, and just kind of, I guess, to address the caller, I mean, that activity is already happening, and it's still not enough, I think, in the eyes of the mayor or people who support the Fulton Mall. They want to see more. They want to see businesses. But the caller is correct. I mean, you can't force anybody to go down there. You can make it pretty. Even the Downtown Partnership is doing some business plan contests where they're going to give people some cash and free rent, if they come down and do something interesting. So those activities are happening, but they're just not happening on the scale that people want to see. So that some people, it's drastic action, and they question taxpayer money being used.
I want to keep that photo up there because that's what the Fulton Mall looks like right now, in case you haven't been downtown in ages upon ages and you've forgotten in your own mind what it looks like. But that's the Fulton Mall, and they do want to tear it out. And, things are going as planned right now, despite the state and federal lawsuits that are in progress right now. I guess there are no injunctions in place to stop this from happening. So I guess I got kind of a two-pronged question. How much, okay, we know that there's going to be about, $16-17 million of federal money, roughly speaking. How much of that will be spent from the local economy?
Like for local contractors and stuff like that.
How much of our money here in Fresno will we have to spend?
You would hope that most of that comes back here. There's a lot of very competent contractors in town who can do this work. That everything kind of goes to bid next month. So that's the big milestone, is next month this is going to go to bid. They're looking to have people, a contractor in place by September. And I believe
local guy.
Well, that's the thing. I think they're going to have to first take a look at the bids. I'm sure there's going to be some local players bidding on this. There might be some out of the area ones bidding on this, and that comes down to what the council wants to do. It's the constant the lowest bid versus the quality you get from maybe paying a little higher. So. I don't know a whole lot about the bidding process, but I hope that there's, something there that will make sure that money might go local.
Now, we're going to have to, you said the total project will be about $20 million, so we'll have to spend about $4 million out of our pot, right?
Yes.
$4 to $5 million, but then you probably have to expect some delays in there and maybe cost overruns?
Yeah, that's definite. That kind of goes without saying. I mean, the city, we spoke to the city, and they're saying that really this is an easy project as far as just putting the street in. That's probably about $2 million only just to put tarmac, and the asphalt down. I think what the lion's share of the project is going to be relocating the artwork on the Fulton Mall and building new places and building sidewalks. That and then when it comes to that might not be in the wheelhouse of some of the local folks. I mean, I guess the point I'm trying to make is that's kind of a specialized thing that they're going to be doing, and they're working with art people to restore this art while it's waiting to be put back in. So there's maybe some skill sets there that might require out of area people, but we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, we're going to continue on our program here. We're talking with Gabriel Dillard, the Business Journal, 436 MeTV Option 11. Do you agree with the tearing out of the Fulton Mall in downtown Fresno, or do you want it to stay as is? Will it draw you downtown if they tear it out and open it up to street traffic, or cars, I should say, as it once was many, many moons ago? You're welcome to call in at 436 MeTV Option 11. Back in a moment.
Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer, and now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Back here in the program talking about the one and only Fulton Mall. They're planning on tearing this out exactly when, Gabe? When does the construction start? Or the tearing out, I should say.
Okay, so I'm kind of referring to this article. They're looking to award the contract by the middle of September. It takes about a month after that once they award the contract. So work should start in October or November, and as you mentioned, it's going to take about a year. So
Yeah.
by Christmas time, 2017.
All right, another call coming in. Good morning. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, morning, John. This is Frank. Hey, yeah, you got a good show going on. I was going to ask the guest, now, isn't the Security Bank building, that tall building that was in the background of that picture that you showed earlier, isn't that building being renovated as we speak?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so. There it is right there.
Yeah, I believe so. It's the one with the condos and stuff at the
Right.
top. Yeah, yeah. It's I walk by there almost every day, and they're doing a lot of work. They're not the only one. I mean, there's actually quite a bit of work going on with individual buildings within the Fulton Mall. And you know, it's started even maybe before they were going to start tearing out, you know, talking about tearing it out. But you know, the city is saying that and then they're attributing the activity to the you know, the promise of new life for Fulton Mall. So you know, in terms of private investment, it seems to be stirring a lot of that, which you know is good news for the city.
Yeah. Now, why does the mayor and maybe the city council and other people, why do they think that by tearing out the Fulton Mall, opening it up to cars, how is that going to draw people downtown? What do you think their thought process is?
Well, I think it's basically people want to be able to park close to where they're going. You know, and as it is now, there's parking garages, kind of everywhere around the mall, and there's you know, parking areas, but it's not, you know, that parking that right in front of the store that you would expect, and you know, people expect in other shopping centers. So I think that's a big part of it is just you know, I believe they feel like the mall is kind of stagnant without traffic going through it. People it equals people not going through it. So you know, they're going to add about 200 new parking stalls as part of this project. So, I mean, even that alone is a pretty big boost to downtown parking. So I think it's just convenience. They hope that it'll be easier for people to visit.
The people that you talk to from the Business Journal, and I know you've talked to a lot of people about this project and others, what's their feeling? Is it split 50-50? Is it half they want it to stay, half they want it to go? What's the sentiment? Is it, or is it not like that?
Well, you know, it's hard to tell. You know, I feel like the people who are downtown a lot, they're kind of in favor of this. It's actually interesting, the Downtown Fresno Partnership, which is the group of property owners that have assessed themselves and they make improvements to the mall. It's comprised of just business owners or property owners. I think about 60% of them just recently voted to keep this assessment going, and I think maybe 40% were opposed.
Of the business owners downtown?
Yeah, and this I'm not
so
talking.
60% in favor of keeping it as is?
It's not exactly. It's in favor of keeping the Downtown Fresno Partnership alive.
Gotcha.
Which the Downtown Fresno Partnership is pretty much the main driver of this, along with the mayor. So if you're talking about just folks who own businesses on the mall, maybe 60-40 are in favor of what the Downtown Fresno Partnership is doing, which is mainly driving, you know, the being a catalyst for this project to happen. Maybe they were there for the start, you know, with the mayor. You know, the mayor wanted to illustrate that there was buy-in from the property owners. But, you know, I think the council just recently approved continuing the contract with the partnership, but that, you know, it's not a slam dunk.
Right. Hey, I want to roll the videotape from the old days. You know, the groundbreaking video is pretty phenomenal to look at now in this day and age. This took place way back in the early 60s, and I'm amazed that, you know, this thing was shot in color, no less. Here's the groundbreaking right here. I mean, this project, this was look at that. Look at the street torn up right there. It's Fulton Mall. It's amazing. The bulldozers there doing their work. Fabulous to see this so many years later, but this was the fad back then, is around the country you had these pedestrian malls. Now, why has that changed? I mean, just a few years ago, about 85% of these pedestrian malls around the country were completely torn out. Why, I wonder?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and it you know, kind of goes I don't know. I mean, I think maybe people just, the pedestrian mall is kind of a thing of the past, is kind of the perception that's being put out there. But, you know, I don't know. You can't argue with the fact that most of these have gone the way of the dinosaur. But
I just wonder why. I wonder what the reason is. Is it just that? Is it? You know, I'm trying to think if because you mentioned the business owners in downtown Fresno. I'm wondering if you think that maybe the business people think it's a bad idea, and maybe just the regular people, regular folks like you and me that visit downtown, think, hey, I like the pedestrian malls. You know, so maybe there's a split between business owners and customers. I don't know.
It could be.
What do you think?
Yeah, there could be. You know, it seems like there might each group might be evenly split. You know, as far as business owners, and you know, you're talking about business owners on the Fulton Mall, and they're not necessarily the ones making decisions. You know, it's usually the property owners who are driving kind of the decisions.
And the politicians.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So maybe the politicians want it more than the people do. I don't know. Caller, what do you say about the Fulton Mall?
Leave it alone. Just touch it up. They're spending too much money, number one. And number two, you'll never get the people that you got 40, 50 years ago. You'll never will. You know, you're not going to get it full. You're going to be wasting that money, taxpayers' money. And the only reason the mayor's, you know, doing it is to kind of help a resume.
Wow. Okay. What do you think?
You know, that's a point that I've heard many times, you know, in just kind of talking about this. You know, it might kind of stand as a legacy for the mayor. You know, that property has pretty much been untouched since it was opened. And, you know, we all know that the mayor has some aspirations beyond Fresno. So it might just be her leaving her mark, and whether that's worth the cost is definitely debatable.
You think it's politically driven, maybe by the mayor?
I would hate to say that. I mean, you know, it's politics. You know, everything is kind of politically driven. I feel like the mayor has a love of downtown. You know, as far as just her shining a spotlight on it through so much, you know, she gets heat for this. You know, not even just from constituents. It's even the council. You know, it's not evenly. Not everybody on the council, I think, supports this, obviously, from the vote.
Yeah, it was, 5-2 in February? So.
I think she thinks that this is the best thing for the Fulton Mall, you know, and she's kind of put her chips on that.
Yeah.
And I think time will tell.
Okay, talking to Gabriel Dillard, the Business Journal. A lot more to talk about here. We'll talk about the Fulton Mall. We'll even touch on Manchester Center. There's a big drive to revitalize and reconstruct Manchester Center. We've talked about that in the past, and we'll talk about Fig Garden Village and the sale there. 436-ME-TV, option 11. We're back with our program in a moment. At 2020 Optometric, your vision is their focus. Whether you're 5 or 65, Dr. Thomas Casagrande will get to know you, your lifestyle, and vision needs to ensure that your contacts or eyeglasses are a perfect fit and the right prescription every time. With the Valley's largest selection of eyewear, 2020 has over 2,000 frames, including top designer brands like Coach, Tiffany, Prada, Ray-Ban, Oakley, and more. Eye exams start as low as $89, so call or stop by to schedule your appointment today. Back here with Gabriel Dillard, the Business Journal, and an email question here about the Fulton Mall. When they do open it up, will it be a one-way or a two-way street like it was back in the early days?
I believe it's going to be two-way traffic.
Two-way traffic? Okay.
Yeah.
Call coming in. Good morning, caller. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Yeah, part of the problem is you got to pay to park. Even the people that work there have to pay, and no one's going to go down there for that.
Yeah. So are you in favor of keeping the mall as is or tearing it out?
Keep it as is, but give incentives for businesses to come down there. Get rid of charging for parking. It could eventually be a good deal with the ballpark and everything, but it can't be one business at a time.
Yeah. So why do you want to keep it as is?
It's unique, and it would be a place for everybody. You got things go on the mall, just all types of things. You got all the new buildings that they're trying to refurbish and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Why get rid of it?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So another comment, another opinion, and you hear a lot of the same stuff around town.
Yeah, you do. You know, I think there's probably a lot of people who share those feelings, and it might be more people who just maybe were, you know, kind of remember the heyday of it and just don't believe that it could go back to the way it was, you know, as far as activity.
We can look at the film and look at the heyday.
Yeah,
again,
that was it.
We've got another piece of videotape. So you know, the thing is, there's no guarantee that this is going to revitalize downtown Fresno. It's a push. It's a gamble. It's a lot of money to spend. 16 million of federal money and then 4 or 5 million of our money here, but it could go beyond that. We don't know how much beyond that it could go, but it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to take a gamble on, is it not?
It is, you know, at a time where, you know, they're doing the budget and, you know, we have a little bit of extra money and people are saying, you know, what should we do with this money? People want to build new parks.
Why not put it in the bank?
Or put it, yeah. I mean, the mayor. That's part of her, another part of her legacy is a reserve, you know, that she's created. So, you know, those are all, you know, put it in the bank, spend it. It's, you know, it is a gamble, I believe, you know, and it'll be hard maybe to even gauge the success of it. You know, they put a street through and then what happens? You know, is it overnight that you know, what they really want that to be is almost like Olive in the Tower District, you know, kind of a lively entertainment area. So it's kind of that, there's a little bit of that now, but I think, you know, it'll be hard to gauge if it's successful or not.
All right, let me ask you two parts here before we got to go to break, and that is the lawsuits, several state and federal lawsuits trying to stop the action of tearing out this mall as it stands now, but no injunctions in place to actually put a halt to it. So could something happen between now and October/November or before the end of the year that could actually stop this thing dead in its tracks? Is that possible?
I'd say anything is possible, but usually when these sorts of lawsuits are filed, they're you know, saying that there's an environmental concern with construction. Most of these projects are just delaying. They just end up delaying a project. Most of these lawsuits end up delaying the project, and I think that's partly why they're filed. It could be that there's some impacts that a judge might see are significant that need to be addressed, but it would probably go to the city to address those. But I don't see anything stopping this in its tracks.
Do you think there could be delays because of these lawsuits?
Anything's possible.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's why the city is kind of making this push to get it going.
And what about the artwork? Is there a debate right now as to what to do with it, where to put it, or has that been finalized?
Well, I think from the city's perspective, it's all going to stay there, but it's just going to be
on the mall,
relocated and refigured. You know, maybe some of these fountains might not make the cut, which is sad. You know, a lot of this artwork are fountains, but you know, I'm not sure if everything's gonna stay, but they're taking great pains to you know, there's a Renoir statue on the Fulton Mall, the only one that anybody could go up and touch, you know, in the whole world. So it's, you know, I think that the goal is to keep the artwork.
So the lawsuits are maybe not only about the environment, and I haven't seen any of the lawsuits that have been filed, but just from what I've read, I imagine some of these lawsuits are involving the artwork as well as the environmental part of it.
You know, I'm not too sure about that. It's entirely possible. But, you know, they're actually just now reaching out to the people who, representatives of the artwork to get the pieces refurbished. So
and to try to salvage.
Yeah, I think a lot of that work's getting done, you know, not by the city, but by third parties.
All right, change topics here with Gabriel Dillard when we come back. 436-MeTV, option 11. We're back in just a moment.
Attention all units. We have reports of 2 motorcycle cops protecting California's highway.
That's for us, good buddy.
The Men of Chips are on MeTV.
Hi, I'm John Baker. I'm John Baker. It's Officer Baker.
He's the blonde one.
Hi there.
Officer Poncherello, man.
Frank Poncherello.
Oh, I'm Frank Poncherello.
And he's the one who's Eric Estrada.
There's no way I wouldn't remember a name like that.
Catch the blonde one and the one who's Eric Estrada.
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
Hello, I'm John Walsh. We need your help to capture this fugitive. Julio Cesar Guevara Mejia is wanted by the FBI in Sacramento for the attempted murder of a 19-year-old female in November of 2007. Police say he lured the young woman to a hotel room where he shot her 3 times in the chest. He could be in Palm Springs, California or Houston, Texas. Contact the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI if you have any information.
All right, back here with Gabriel Dillard of the Business Journal, and I do want to talk about Manchester Center, because when you were here last, we had a ton of phone calls about Manchester, and people had many opinions about that. Let's roll the videotape and show you a photo gallery of the Manchester Center right now, Manchester Mall. The owners, of course, have this grandioso plan of just revitalizing and just rebuilding, revamping the whole center. It cost hundreds of millions of dollars. They're talking about it. I don't see anything being done, though.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what stage they are. When this story broke about a month ago, I think it was just because they accidentally put up a website kind of detailing, the owner of Manchester put up a website detailing some of these improvements they want to make, and then that website was pulled offline pretty quickly. So
No, in fact, when we get done with this video, we're going to show the next video, because I do believe we got the video of what it will look like in the future.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like now. So, but you're not, have you guys been in contact with?
We haven't been in contact with them, and we probably should, because at some point they're going to have to talk to somebody about their plans. But at this point, as far as I know, they're not coming forward. They're not. They don't have a plan for kind of how they're going to roll out these renovations. Do know that they've spent a lot of money on the mall even before the news broke. And I think they just replaced their HVAC system, maybe within the last couple of years. So, there's been some activity there even before this. So you kind of feel that that's probably leading to something.
Yeah. Do they need city council approval to do this? Do they need to confer with the mayor? Does this require a vote?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it probably requires some permitting, but as far as council vote, I don't think so. The council did just recently vote to vacate that big right-hand turn from what street is that? I'm blanking. Shields and Blackstone.
Right.
Kind of that big swooping right-hand turn. Council did vote to give that up, and that's actually going to be part of that expansion.
Mm-hmm. And this is the Manchester Center of, I think we pulled this off their website initially, of what they want to turn this place into, a modern-day mall. And, here's what it would look like. We got a call coming in. Good morning. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yes, I have a comment and a question.
Yeah.
On the Fulton Mall, what they're going to use to let down not the traffic, but the dust and valley fever? Are they going to use water or are they going to use powder? Second is, why is the city saying that we have to be careful with the water we use when they're going to use thousands and thousands of gallons to do the construction work? Second, another thing that you should invite people that had the mall destroyed or closed up and ask a viewpoint of what they think, and did it do any good or just a negative or good impulse.
I'm assuming you're talking about the Fulton Mall. Is that correct?
That's correct, sir. The impact of the water they're going to be using for valley fever is going to corrupt. The business is going to be interrupted. And you should invite people from other cities that have the mall removed.
Go ahead.
Yeah, as far as the water thing, I think lately all construction has been mindful of kind of how much water they're using in the construction process. From what I heard, they're require some of the builders to use recycled water, which they actually have to go physically take a truck and get from like the city's wastewater plant. But yeah, I don't see water being a big issue as far as the construction of this project.
Yeah.
It'll be something that people will point to kind of oppose it, but you could really point to any sort of new construction and make that argument.
Yeah.
I feel.
Well, let's get back to Manchester just for a moment before we talk about Fig Garden Village, and that is we saw the video of what it will look like in the future, kind of futuristic type video there that's been yanked off their website, by the way, right?
There was a website that was there that is no longer there. People found it and they weren't supposed to.
Was it yanked because it's too lofty a goal?
I think it was just yanked because they just probably weren't ready to answer the natural questions that would come out of seeing some plans like that. Cost, I just think it was just not ready.
This is what I've heard people say about the reconstruction of Manchester Mall. It's in a lousy area. You're going to put a mall like that near Blackstone and Shields. It's not going to improve the area. You're still going to have blight. You're still going to have a crime issue, crime problems. How do you see it?
Well, just because, the way I personally see it, just because this a part of town has problems, I don't think that should fade it to always just be ignored, and for the problems to just continue. I think that the very reason that there is blight there is because the city kind of forgot about that part of town when it was growing outward.
But it's a shady area, no question.
It is. But there's shady areas everywhere in Fresno. North Fresno. There's parts of town, south of north of Shaw that you wouldn't want to go into.
Fig Garden Village. Let's put up the photo here before we've got to go. And you got an article here in front page of the Business Journal not too long ago talking about the sale of Fig Garden Village. How's this going to impact consumers, business owners?
Well, the word is from the new owner that it's not. That it's going to be business as usual. We haven't heard of anybody's rents going up. We went and spoke to our reporter George Lurie went and spoke to tenants there, and most of them are excited. And this company that bought them, they're called Rouse Properties. They're based in New York. They're just, another one of just these large national, real estate investment firms that they see value here. They see return on investment, I feel. So, they're talking about they're in talks with some national chains to bring them to town. I don't know if there's any sort of timetable for that. The center is like 94% leased, so it's almost
no
hard.
Worries there.
Yeah, it's hard to improve it unless you're just going to build more. And I don't know.
Yeah, George Lurie's article is in the June 12th issue of the Business Journal, so go pick it up. It's right here. And what's the cost of per issue here?
Per issue, if you want to find it in newsstands, it's $1.25.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Gabe, we'll see you next month here on the program. I appreciate your time. Happy Father's Day again, my friend.
It's always fun.
All right. Hey, it's always good to see you.
You too.
All right. Thank you. We're going to be back with the second half of our program here on Connect with Me on Me TV Fresno. 436 Me TV option 11 is the number. We'll talk about that old Got Milk campaign. Remember that? We're back in just a moment. At 2020 Optometric, your vision is their focus. Whether you're 5 or 65, Dr. Thomas Casagrande will get to know you, your lifestyle, and vision needs to ensure that your contacts or eyeglasses are a perfect fit and the right prescription every time. With the Valley's largest selection of eyewear, 2020 has over 2,000 frames, including top designer brands like Coach, Tiffany, Prada, Ray-Ban, Oakley, and more. Eye exams start as low as $89, so call or stop by to schedule your appointment today.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified #1 rated high efficiency Cabrio from Whirlpool Place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Whirlpool Cabrio laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Euronews, most-watched news channel in Europe.
When you're looking for Whirlpool innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, will help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified Whirlpool appliances save you energy and money and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
We need help to find this missing child. Erica Parsons was 13 when she disappeared. She was last seen in Salisbury, North Carolina in November of 2011. This is what we believe she looks like today at age 16. If you have any information, please call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-THE-LOST. That's 1-800-843-5678.
Take a look at this. Let's play.
This is too hip for you. I'll slow it down.
Let's play.
Watch all your favorite classic game shows on Buzzer TV, KBBC Digital Channel 13.7.
Want to create something extraordinary? Create perfection. Our lifestyle appliances make it easy. KitchenAid, Ventura TV Appliance, and you, when only the best will do.
We're back here on the program, here on Connect With Me on Me TV Fresno. And today's program sponsored by Dr. Thomas Casagrande. Of course, we thank him for his sponsorship 2020 Optometrics at Shaw and Blackstone. So, remember the Got Milk campaign? Well, my friends, the Got Milk campaign is back in full swing. I want to roll the videotape and show you exactly what I'm talking about. In fact, right here in California, there is a movement called Better Future Moms. It starts with a glass of milk, right? Or does it? I'm not sure. These moms are being recognized as those who are making a difference in their community through the power of education, and the milk industry doesn't want you to forget to drink your milk, my friends, okay?
Hey, I'm you, from the future.
You're me?
I know. Drink this.
It's working! Keep drinking! We did it!
Got milk?
All right, live in our studio now is Florinda Guzman of Hanford, one of 8 moms around the state of California chosen for the Better Future Moms campaign. And next to her, Debbie Hagenrader. She's a former guest here on this program of Break the Barrier. She's the owner out there in Clovis. Hey, 436-ME-TV option 11. It's got milk. I don't have the mustache, of course, and I don't drink milk. I do drink almond milk, though. So does that count? I don't know. 436-ME-TV option 11. We're back in just a moment. At 2020 Optometric, your vision is their focus. Whether you're 5 or 65, Dr. Thomas Casagrande will get to know you, your lifestyle, and vision needs to ensure that your contacts or eyeglasses are a perfect fit and the right prescription every time. With the Valley's largest selection of eyewear, 2020 has over 2,000 frames, including top designer brands like Coach, Tiffany, Prada, Ray-Ban, Oakley, and more. Eye exams start as low as $89. So call or stop by to schedule your appointment today.
Okay, who are you?
The milkman?
Do you have a sidekick?
No.
A nemesis?
A what?
A bad guy?
I'm a people person.
Have you been fighting crime long?
I don't fight crime.
What do you fight?
Weak bones. A never-ending supply of milk. And chocolate milk.
Want strong bones? The calcium in milk helps make your bones strong.
All right, back here on the program, talking with our 2 guests here, Florinda Guzman, and I don't know why I called you Hagenrader. It's Bergenrader, okay?
Yes.
It's Monday morning, all right? So what's this campaign about, Florinda? You're from Hanford. You're a teacher out there, right?
I'm a track coach.
Yeah, same thing.
Same thing, sure.
Teacher, track coach, and so you look like you're in good shape. Debbie, so do you. To explain what the campaign is?
It was a campaign set up by Got Milk, and they were in search for just everyday moms that don't get recognized for, you know, the contributions that they do to their community, to the churches, to the schools. And so they set out this wide search, and I got picked as one of the 8.
You did? How did you get picked? I mean, how do they choose these?
You're to apply online. I actually got nominated.
You applied online?
Yeah, I actually got nominated by a family member, and she submitted, you know, why I should be the better future mom.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
they picked me.
And a better future mom means what to you, Debbie? Because you got picked as a grandmother.
Yes.
So
Which I'm proud of.
What does that mean, better future moms? What does that mean to you?
Well, you know, to me, I think it's just tuning into the healthy child, the healthy grandchild, and with a good diet and good fitness and overall good, you know, healthy attitude, no stress. I think our kids have a lot of anxiety, and nothing better than a good ice cold glass of milk.
Okay. If you can drink it. Health-wise, I can't drink real milk.
Sure.
I can drink almond milk. Does that count?
I think it does.
Yes, it definitely does.
I had a couple of stents put in, so they're not allowing me to drink any kind of, you know, real milk type stuff, milk products. But, you know, if you're a young kid growing up, milk is good for you. It builds strong bones, obviously the calcium and vitamin D. All right, caller, go ahead. You're on the air.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. My name's Andrew. You were talking about the
excuse me, caller. Let me interrupt right there. You're on speakerphone and we can't hear you. You'll have to get off speaker. I'm sorry.
Is that a lot better?
No, we can't hear you. You have to call back. Get off. Yeah. If you call in, don't be on speakerphone because we can't hear you, and also turn down the sound on your television set. So I want to roll some more videotape of milk. Because do you encourage your grandkids? Do you encourage your kids to drink milk?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Because?
Because my kids are long-distance runners, and so they drink the milk with protein to refuel their body.
Right.
You know, to restore the muscles. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Debbie.
Well, protein and calcium and vitamin D, you know, we've got to make sure that they're getting that, especially when they're working out or staying fit and active.
Yeah. Well, the fact of the matter is that, you know, when I think of better future moms, I think of, hey, you know, you look at our society today and there's so many kids going astray, so many single parents, so many kids involved in drugs and alcohol. I mean, we've talked about this on this program many times with Flint Anderson. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's talking about some of the high school drugs. So being a better mom means more than encouraging them to drink milk. Is that correct?
Yes.
What does it mean to you in addition to that?
To me, it's, you know, with my own children, they're staying athletic, you know, fit. They're doing good in school, and we're encouraging them, you know, to pursue that as they go into college. Like my son just graduated, so he will be attending, you know, West Hills College to further his education, and he's also going to be running for them.
How'd you keep your kids out of trouble?
Staying busy.
Staying busy?
Staying busy,
Debbie?
yes.
Staying busy, and they work for us.
Yeah, yeah. And what about the grandkids?
Well, the grandkids, they're very busy too. I think the problem is with that is finding time, family time together to talk about, you know, healthy nutrition, to talk about what's healthy and what environment is healthy and not healthy to be in.
Yeah. Caller, go ahead. You're on the air.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had got hung up.
No. Still, connection's still pretty bad. I don't know if it's us or if it's you, but
That's a question about the Fulton Mall.
no, sorry, no connection. By the way, we're kind of finished talking about the Fulton Mall. We're talking about the Got Milk campaign. I want to run another of these commercials because we've got the Got Milk chairman, I think, is coming into Fresno tomorrow. I believe it is the 23rd. Do you know anything about that, Florinda?
Yes.
Okay, what's happening there?
Tomorrow we're having our Run for the Dream Series track meet. It will be held in Hanford. And
what time?
The track meet starts at 6. The Got Milk representative will be in about 7:30, between 8.
In the morning?
Will in the night. Evening.
Oh,
yes, at night. This is all in the evening. Yes, and then he will recognize the moms that were nominated within this area.
And there are 2 of them. There's another young lady who was nominated besides you and you, Debbie, and we'll talk about her in a moment. I do want to run another Got Milk commercial because they are quite entertaining, quite funny. So take a look. I'm sure you remember all of these when they aired.
Drink your milk, kids.
I don't want milk. Milk's for babies. Yeah, babies.
Oh, yeah? Well, I happen to know that milk helps build strong bones. So drink up.
Well, Mr. Miller told me he never drinks milk. Look at him.
Yeah.
Hey, kids.
Oh, that's not good.
Got milk.
Guzzling milk is okay on a hot day, I'll tell you. Go ahead and tell us what this is right here, Florinda.
Because I was selected for our region, we were invited to a special award ceremony in LA. So I got to meet the rest of the moms here, and we were awarded this beautiful trophy here by Got Milk.
Yeah.
And it was a very exciting trip.
Yeah, so you went down there when? Last week?
On Wednesday, yes, last Wednesday.
Yeah, that's great. What did you do? What did the 8 moms do?
We got to meet each other at the beginning, and they pampered us with hair and makeup. Yes, and then
really?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
And then we went to an actual formal ceremony where we had our host was Andrea Navedo from Jane the Virgin, and she presented us with these awards. And then we had pictures, and we just got to meet each other, and it was a great time.
Yeah, but Debbie, you know, because you've raised kids, and you know, it takes more than just a slogan to raise kids in this day and age.
Yeah.
And talk about some of the difficulties that you encountered, and especially in this day and age, there are so many hurdles. It's not just a slogan. Okay, Got Milk is a slogan, but it takes more than that to be a good mom. It takes more than that to raise kids, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
What does it take?
Well, it's something that we don't give freely is our time, and once time's spent, it's gone forever. And so when we're drinking that milk, we need to sit down and drink it with them and have conversation, find out how their day is going. And I believe that is something that everybody needs to work on. And we work with a lot of inner city kids, you know, that come on up to break the barriers. And, you know, and healthy eating is something they're not getting, except for in the schools, rather in school. But during the summer, you know, what are they getting as far as nutrition? And so when they come, we're showing them how to make orange juice and some things like that, you know, and the milk is pretty ready and easy to get in all forms. You know, you've got your skim and your diet and all the above, and then it comes with all the fun stuff, the ice cream and the rewards.
Anyway, we're talking with Debbie Hergenrader, the owner of Break the Barriers, and Florinda Guzman. Both are of the Future Moms program campaign, or Better Future Moms program campaign by the Got Milk people. 436 MeTV option 11. Back with our final remaining moments here on the program in just a moment.
It's almost time.
Now we'll find out once and for all about Clark Kent and Superman.
Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a TV show.
Yes, but who is he? What's his name?
He's Superman.
Golly, Clark, won't that be wonderful seeing Superman
fighting a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and television the MeTV way.
No one can do the things that Superman does.
The adventures of Superman.
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
And that was the Vienna Wood Dance in B, one of my all-time favorites. And now let's make that random call with today's $10,000 question. It's a tough one. Who shot Alexander Hamilton in that famous duel? All right, let's go to the phones and see who's out there.
Hello, for $10,000. Who shot... Excuse me? I'm afraid your time is almost up. I'm sorry. Maybe next time.
Got milk.
All right, Debbie Hergenrader is here from Break the Barriers. Florinda Guzman of Hanford is here. She's a track coach at where? Hanford?
Pioneer Middle School.
Pioneer Middle School in Hanford.
Yes.
Okay, and so tomorrow the program starts at what time? 7:30?
The program starts at 7:30.
And all 8 moms will be here?
No, just the
2 from Fresno.
Right.
And the the chairman of the Got Milk campaign from
Yes.
L.A. will also be here. Will you be there, Debbie?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yes, and one other grandmother.
I want to put up some of the full screens of the campaign ads, Got Milk, and some of the most famous people around the world with the milk mustache. There's number one. Number two would be what? Next. And next, some of the most famous athletes around the world. Go ahead and comment if you want, because you're a track coach, so go ahead. Florinda?
Yes. I don't know.
There's Superman.
Yeah. You know what I liked about the Run for the Dream series inside the Safe Mart Center is Got Milk puts up a booth, and so they give us a fake mustache and to have picture opportunities, and the kids love that. I also liked it myself.
We saw Dr. Phil. There's Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay Packers, of course, and as I said, many famous athletes involved in this campaign. And you got to wonder how this campaign has lasted for so many years, because, you know, Got Milk is a catchy phrase that has just stuck with us, Debbie. I don't know why or how.
It goes way back, and I remember those commercials before.
Yeah, from a long time ago.
Yes.
And it's still around. It's still, it's amazing. Is that The Rock? Yeah, it is The Rock.
It started a phase, you know.
Yeah,
Got
and
Milk.
I think the cat had a milk mustache as well. And let's go to the next one. We'll just rip through these real quick. I can't see without my glasses who that is, but all these are famous people with the Got Milk campaign. And Whoopi Goldberg, of course, we all know who she is, and it's amazing. Is that Mark McGuire, by the way, Debbie?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
I'm not sure either. It looks
I have
like
to
it
see
might
with a
be.
baseball hat on.
All right, all right. Just everybody seems to be involved in this, but even if it's not. All right, that makes everyone laugh. And Abe, hey, good old Abe is in on it too, right? But you were mentioning too. We got just about 2 minutes left. I don't drink real milk, but your grandkids don't either, right?
One granddaughter.
One granddaughter
doesn't. It needs to be dairy-free.
Right, dairy-free, but that doesn't mean you're not part of the Got Milk campaign.
That's
because there are so many alternatives, like I said, almond milk and many other alternatives as well.
Definitely.
Because of allergies, right?
Right. There's other ways to get the calcium and the vitamin D and the protein, and so. Yeah, but that's the milk is the easy grab for those that can drink it, you know, to get all
What's the one message that you'd like to get out to moms out there that you think maybe should be doing a better job with their kids?
Well, other than time spent and more communication with them, I believe that everybody's on the go, and the easiest thing to grab is the fast food, and I think we do that too much, and so they're getting empty food. You know, empty without anything good in it, in the nutrition. And they're busy, so our kids are busier than ever without the fuel.
How often should my kids or any kids be eating pizza? Once a week?
Once a week.
Once a week, that's it?
Yes.
Because?
Especially with my kids, because they're athletes, yes, they got to have the right, you know, ingredients in their body. We only eat pizza once a week. That's a treat for them.
And quickly, 30 seconds, what should moms be doing that they're not doing to encourage their kids to lead better lives, in your opinion? Quickly, 30 seconds.
I think they should just, you know, like she was saying, spend time with them, engage with them, become part of their, you know, like the Run for the Dream tomorrow. It's a family affair. Get out there and walk with them. Get out there and run with them. It's for all ages.
Yeah.
So when they see you do it, it's good.
All right, Florinda, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Debbie, always nice to see you.
Yes.
Okay. Florinda Guzman, a track coach at Hanford, and Debbie Hergenrader, the owner of Break the Barriers. We thank both of them for being here. Thanks to Gabriel Dillard of the Business Journal. Back tomorrow with another edition. We'll be talking about breast cancer tomorrow here on the program. And then on Wednesday, Jackie Parks from the Police Officers Association, the union, will be here to talk about the budget and crime in the city of Fresno. See you tomorrow. Have a great day.